Hi, welcome to our math. Today I'm doing a series of videos on rationals, expressions and equations. This video is specifically on rational equations. What I'm going to do is solve two equations, rational means fraction, by clearing the fraction. You'll notice that these have a lot of similarities to them. Okay, what I need to first do is count my terms. 1, 2, 3. It seems silly, but that 1 gets lost if you don't start by acknowledging that it is a term. Second, I'm going to look at my denominators. The 1 doesn't have a written denominator, which means the denominator is 1. Doesn't mean there isn't one. That would be 0 and undefined. It just means that it's 1. So to clear my fractions, which is always my first step within an equation, I need to multiply by my least common denominator. And in this case, my least common denominator will be h minus 2 times h plus 2. Now I'm going to multiply this out, h squared plus 2h, negative 2h minus 4, to get h squared minus 4. I'm going to do this because of that 1. When I multiply to that 1, it's much simpler if I have it pre-multiplied out. Let me show you. What I'm doing here is I'm taking this 2 times h minus 2 and multiplying it by h minus 2, h plus 2 over 1. The h minus 2's cancel. I'm taking the 1, and instead of doing h plus 2, h minus 2, which I'm going to eventually have to multiply out, I'm going to do it by the h squared, multiply by the h squared minus 4. My last term, h over h plus 2, I could do the h squared minus 4, but then I have to refactor to reduce, so I come back to the factored form, h minus 2, h plus 2 over 1, so my h plus 2's can cancel. I like the two forms because it's easier to have this middle term pre-multiplied out. So I end up with 2 times h plus 2 plus 1 times h squared minus 4 equaling h times h minus 2. Lots of parentheses. I got to clear them all. 2h plus 4. Plus h squared, I'm going to put the minus 4 right here. I'm going to line those guys up so that I have 2h plus h squared equals h squared minus 2h. All right, I'm going to add the 2h over. I'm also going to subtract the h squared. This is 4h, 0 equals 0. So h is equal to 0. Don't freak out. H equaling 0 is kind of awesome. We love that. It's probably the easiest to test out. I mean, if we come back to our original question, we have negative 1 plus 1 equals 0. Booyah. We didn't write the domain. I would check with the domain by putting it in. Does that? The domain in this case would be h cannot equal 2 or negative 2. All right, so let's look at the next problem, which is very, very similar in that the denominators, again, are the factored form of a difference of two squares. Once again, I'm going to start with my least common denominator, which is going to be w minus 1 times w plus 1. I just laundry list the different denominators I have. I don't worry about the 1 because the denominator, anything times 1 is itself. Instead of writing this whole line out, which can get long, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly just put here w times w minus 1, w plus 1. 3 times, oh, I need to multiply this out. W squared plus w minus 1 is w squared minus 1. Oh, I don't need that for the 3 though. W minus 1, w plus 1, and this is w squared minus 1. All right, I do that so that I can then come through, cancel my w minus 1s and have a w times, let's see, put this down a little bit, w times w plus 1. The w plus 1s cancel, leaving me with a 3 times w minus 1. And the 1, the parentheses just fall away. 1 distributes in to be w squared minus 1. I will quickly note with this that my domain is w cannot equal 1 or negative 1. I just saw that again. So if I get either of these answers, I know I have a problem. Okay, back to the nicer looking equation without any fractions. Distribute. W squared plus w equals 3w minus 3 plus w squared minus 1. I'm going to also do a minus w squared while I'm here, so I'll have w equals 3w minus 4. Subtract that 3w over. negative 2w equals negative 4, or w equals 2. I'm going to leave plugging that back in and checking up to you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my Facebook page, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks!